Well, New Comic Book Day is just a few hours away, so it's time to take a look at the books on the pull list. Welcome back to Comics Are Dope. I'm BJ Kicks, and this is The Pull List. It's my weekly series where I take a look at all the books coming out. I'll tell you what's at the top of my reading pile. We'll talk about some new series debuts hitting the market this week and new trade paperbacks hitting the market for this week in comics, Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. It's a pretty big week. There's a lot of heavy hitters coming out this week. I got 10 books on my pull list total. And I'm only spending $45.38 if I stick to my budget. So that's a little preview. We'll talk about everything that's inside. But first, I gotta give a huge shout out to this week's $50 gift card winner. Panel Bound Comics has been donating $50 gift cards for this is the 7th winner. So there are 3 winners left. All you got to do if you want a chance at winning is participate in the equipment fundraiser extravaganza that we got going on. Go to comicsaredope.com/help me out. Anything you do to contribute, well, it serves as an entry. And we had 2 participants last week. And so it went down to the wire. And here's how things ended up. And good luck to you, Latia and Mark. All right. That's right. Latia the Learner, you are the winner of this week's $50 gift card to Panel Bound Comics. You can use it to grab any collected editions available for purchase at panelboundcomics.com. You'll see some of those in a segment we like to call Trade Waiting a little bit later on. Before we get to that, we got to get to the books at the top of the pile. These are the books I'm most excited for in a given week based on how much I enjoyed the previous issue of the series. And listen, there was nothing coming close to beating this book this week. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 12 is out this week from IDW Publishing. It's Jason Aaron and Juan Ferreira's finale. Next month, we got a whole new direction jumping off with Gene Luen Yang and Freddie Williams the second, third. Always get I think he's Freddie Williams the second. The point is, he might as well be a 4th Ninja Turtle. You've seen him on covers forever. He also did the Batman Tmnt series with James Tynion. So he's got plenty of familiarity with those turtles, and I'm excited to see it. But before we get to that, let's talk about issue 12. We've been building toward something, well, some really cool stuff. The turtles have been scattered. They've been, not quite seeing eye to eye, shell to shell, mask to mask. I don't know. Sai to sword. Point is, turtles haven't always been on the same page over the last year, and they are finally learning to work together. They've got the whole weight of the judicial system, against them, and the DA has suddenly been mutated. So it's just a crazy cataclysmic finale that we're going to get to this arc, and then we're going to jump into issue 13 and all the things that are entailed therein. I've read this issue, and I'm trying not to spoil anything, so I'm going to stop talking about it. All I can say is I'm very excited for it, and you should be too, just as I've been excited for the previous 11 issues. Cover price on this is $4.99. Next up is the Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, issue number 5. This is the finale of the Ultimate Universe Incursion event. And basically, Miles has been hopping around the entire Ultimate Universe trying to find his sister, Billy. Is he going to find her and escape in this issue? Probably, because, well, we need that to happen. Now, what's it going to mean for the future of the Ultimate Universe and for the future of our 616 universe? Well, that's yet to be determined. So we'll find out in this issue. Cover price on Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 5 is $4.99. And speaking of Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, this next book is a tie-in to that. It's Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 39. This ties in to Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. Why? Because, well, it was the Miles Morales of 616, by the way, who jumped into Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. And so now he's got to jump back out of the Ultimate Universe into our Earth universe. And so we'll see some of the fallout, how this is going to impact Earth 616, or at least impact Miles and how he feels about being a superhero, coming from a space where he's like the new kid on the block in our 616 universe, but in the new Ultimate Universe, he was basically the oldest superhero there. So that's an interesting experience. I'm curious to see how Cody Ziegler takes that and uses it to kind of grow Miles up a little bit. 39 issues of Miles Morales so far. That's crazy. That's going to make a very fun omnibus. Cover price on this one is $3.99. And the last book at the top of the pile for me this week is a DCKO tie-in. This is Justice League Unlimited, issue number 12. It's a brand new jumping on point, new story arc. Anyway, probably wouldn't jump in right here, but you should know we just had a big event called We Are Yesterday, a big crossover that is. And in that, there were some heroes that got displaced throughout time. And now that the DCKO event is here and our heroes are trying to figure out how to fight Darkseid, Mr. Terrific's got some work to do here on the main Earth while all this stuff is going on. He's assembling a team of heroes from, well, all across time. So Batman Beyond is in here and a bunch of other people. That sounds really interesting. Honestly, you had me at Mr. Terrific is leading a team. Cover price on this is $3.99. And those were the books at the top of the pile. I'm very excited for those this week. But now it's time for a segment I like to call On the Radar. These are new series debuts, new jumping on points, new story arcs even, for titles hitting the market this week. And a great place for you to dive in. We'll start with, from Dynamite, this is The Terminator Metal, issue number 1. Declan Shalvey, Roy McConville. I did not write down the artist. I should have done that. But it's a new Terminator series. So I guess the Terminator that had been going was a mini, and now this is another mini with the same writer. The covers look amazing. And if you're a Terminator fan, this is set in the post-apocalyptic world after Judgment Day. I am not the biggest Terminator head. I remember parts of Terminator 2 Judgment Day very vividly, but when I tried to jump into Terminator this last time around, I felt kind of lost. Like, I don't know enough about this world to be indulging in the comic that's not directly tied into the main heroes. John Connor. Yeah. Anyway, Terminator Metal, number 1. It was a very great sales pitch, Kicks. $4.99 on that. Next up from Mad Cave Studios is Warwolf, issue number 1. This is written by Steve Orlando with art by Marco Perugini, who you may remember from the series Black Cotton over at Scout Comics a while back. We covered that series years ago. Like, I was in my mom's house. We covered that series. That's crazy. Anyway, Warwolf, about basically a mall cop who, when there was an alien invasion, he kind of tricked the world into thinking that he was the big hero that stopped the alien invasion. And so now years later, they're coming back and, well, he's got to live up to the hype. So it straight up reminds me of like something like Paul Blart Mall Cop mixed with, was it the 21 Jump Street movie that came out years ago? Anyway, seems like a fun comic. Funny. The type of thing that you kind of only get in comic books because like B movies don't exist anymore. Anyway, $4.99 is cover price on that. Next up is Outlaw Showdown, issue number 1. That's going to be a fun anthology from Oni Press by way of EC Comics, or is that the other way around? It's an EC comic by way of Oni Press. It's a big Wild West anthology with some horrific, some gruesome elements. I actually read a digital preview of this and it looks really cool. The artwork is really good. Like I said, it's an anthology, so some stories are going to hit harder than others for you. But the cover price on that is $8.99. That's kind of steep for a comic in general, but you get a lot of pages for it. Next up, speaking of lots of pages and anthologies, The Savage Sword of Conan Reforged number 1 is out this week from Titan Comics. I did a whole deep dive on Conan a couple weeks ago, so check that out if you're unfamiliar with the, sword wielding gentleman, the Savage, if you will. Savage Sword of Conan was a black and white magazine featuring tales that were a little bit more gruesome because it was in black and white. It wasn't subject to the Comics Code Authority like the old Marvel comics were. So you might see, you know, really gory stuff. You might see really sensual stuff, right? In a Conan book. All that used to be in black and white. Well, this Reforged series takes some of those books and puts them in color. So old classic Savage Sword of Conan magazine issues now in color. This one is going to reprint the classic Tower of the Elephant story. I think Barry Windsor Smith drew that. So that's interesting. For all the reasons I just named. Cover price on that is $9.99. Next up is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Halloween special. It's a Halloween anthology featuring everyone's favorite teenagers with attitude. I put this on the list specifically for Bunkmaster B. You're welcome, Bunkmaster B. $7.99 is the cover price on that, by the way. And the last book on the radar is Speed Racer Tales from the Road, issue number 1. This is a quarterly anthology put out by Mad Cave Studios to go along with the current Speed Racer comic. I really hope y'all can't hear my stomach growling on the microphone. I think not. It's a dynamic mic. Should be okay. Anyway, Speed Racer, Tales from the Road, issue number 1, quarterly anthology from Mad Cave. This one, the headline story is a Racer X feature. And I should have written down who's writing that. I believe it's Mark London, who is the editor-in-chief at Mad Cave, president, CEO, head guy in charge, I guess. So that'll be cool. But then there's also a backup story by my man David Pepose, which I'm excited to read. The new Speed Racer series is very much like Fast and the Furious, but with a lot of heart and family. But, you know, this story is pitched as a Spritle and what's the monkey's name? I really spent time looking that up. His name is Chim Chim, which is basically Chimp Chimp, but Chim Chim. Anyway, Spritle and Chim Chim going on an adventure. This just sounds like all like no holds barred, just fun without the emotional weight that you're getting in the regular Speed Racer book. So that should be fun and interesting. Anyway, cover price on this quarterly anthology is $6.99. And that's it. Those are all the new number 1s that are on my radar. It is spooky month, so there are plenty of like Halloween books to tickle your fancy, some of which seem a little explicit for this channel and audience, but to each their own. Have fun. Just check the racks at your local comic shop. Speaking of local comic shops, mine is Fight or Flight Comics here in Raleigh, North Carolina, inside the Triangle Town Center Mall. And if you meet me there this Saturday at 11 a.m., you will get a chance to meet the one, the only, the mall rat himself, Kevin Smith. It's going to be a very fun day. He's only there from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's 2 hours. So you come, get your book signed. There's a maximum, I believe, of 3 items to be signed. Chances are you're not going to be able to tell Kevin Smith your life story, but you will get a nice photo op and all the things. So meet me there. Actually, you should probably beat me there. 11 a.m. is when it starts. I think the mall may open at 10. I don't know. Mall hours. Just know you better get in line. Anyway, now, speaking of malls, shopping, my budget for the week, I already told you, it's only at $45.38 for the week. That means I can probably afford to buy one of these books that are on the radar. And if I got to pick one with my eyes closed, my eyes are definitely open. A Warwolf number 1 seems like a fun book to take a chance on. So I'd probably buy Warwolf from Mad Cave. But anyway, let's talk about the other books that are weighing down my budget totals. What else is in the box? First up is Fantastic Four, issue number 4. This written by Ryan North, art by, I assume, Humberto Ramos. Only made it past the first story arc. I am wrong. Humberto Ramos still on the book. That's what's up. Congratulations, sir. Anyway, gang's all together again. We're finally going to get out of this one world under doom stuff. Finally. So $3.99 cover price on that. Next up is Detective Comics issue 1102. Heads up for another Mr. Terrific appearance. If you just love gosh darn Mr. Terrific, then it's a great week for you. Batman's got a bat virus, and Mr. Terrific's the only one that can help him. He doesn't need no help because he's gosh darn Mr. Terrific. That's so funny. Anyway, $4.99 on that one. Next up is Space Ghost, issue number 4. Speaking of my man David Pepose, Space Ghost has been really fun. This is going into a 2-parter inspired by the Kree Skrull War. So if you're into warring factions of aliens and, earthbound peacekeepers, then check this out. Space Ghost isn't earthbound, but Jan, Jason, Blip are, allegedly. Cover price on that is $4.99. Next up is Superman, issue number 31. This is also a DCKO tie-in. Josh Williamson, Dan Mora. This book is awesome. Superman with the bleeding heart of Apocalypse, the beating heart of Apocalypse, based on the whole DCKO stuff. I'll need to reread that to figure out what this heart is, or just read Superman number 31. It's out this week. Cover price is $4.99. Next up is Ultimate Spider-Man, issue number 22. I'm very behind on Ultimate Spider-Man because I have been rereading the Ultimate Universe from the beginning so that I could bring you this Ultimate Universe deep dive. It really exists. It exists so hard that I made a thumbnail for it already. It's coming later this week. Stay tuned for the Ultimate Universe deep dive. But I'm behind on the final Ultimate Universe story arcs. With the exception of Incursion. I'm still reading Incursion, even though I'm behind on the other books. Whatever, $4.99 on that. And speaking of Ultimate people, The Ultimates, issue 17 is out this week. This being a reprisal of my favorite issue of The Ultimates so far, one of them. Issue 4 was a strong contender. Issue 9 was another strong contender. I liked issue 3 as well. I've had a lot of favorite issues of The Ultimates, but issue 4 was definitely a standout, and this is a direct follow-up. If you know, you know. $4.99 on that. That's it for the books in my box, but there's still one more segment to go. We like to call it Trade Waiting. These are new collections hitting the market this week. You can get them at your local comic shop, your local bookstore, or our channel sponsor, panelboundcomics.com. Even if you weren't as lucky as Latia the Learner was this week and you don't have an extra $50 to spend, there are great prices available at panelboundcomics.com, up to half off the cover price. So check them out. You can use my coupon code at checkout to receive an additional $2 off your order. Or if you're buying 4 books or more, you can get 5% off with the code BJKicks. Ship it together. All that's on the screen. But anyway, let's get into these trades. New trade paperbacks out this week. We'll start things off with Fantastic Four, Volume 6. This is the final story arc in the first volume of Ryan North's Fantastic Four run. That sounds confusing. It does sound confusing. This is going to get you all the way up to issue 33, after which Fantastic Four got renumbered, and thus Fantastic Four issue number 4 is out this week. But it's really like Fantastic Four issue 37. But it's not, because they renumbered it. Did I help? Did that hurt? Is that more confusing? Sorry. The point is, finish up the first Ryan North run, and then you'll get a brand new Fantastic Four Volume 1 like 2 months from now. So that'll be fun. $17.99 on that. It's all going to be One World Under Doom tie-ins, by the way. Next up is DC Time Sonic the Hedgehog. If you ever felt like you wanted a mashup between DC and Sonic the Hedgehog, this was the book for you. And I got to admit, it was a lot more fun than I assumed it would be. It felt like it was going to be a cash grab. And I mean, it was, but they made it make sense, and it was fun. And the toys look really cool. So if you want the toys and the book that inspired them, grab this one, $17.99 on that. Next up, one that's very special to me. It's All Negro Comics, America's first Black comic book. I covered this. There was a hardcover version of this book that came out a few years ago. I covered it last year during Black History Month. And since then, that book has won the Eisner for Best Archival Project and is now getting a wide release for print distribution through Image Comics. And if you buy this new release that is exclusive to your comic shop for the next 3 weeks, if you buy that one, you'll see a familiar name on the back. It's my name. Spoiler alert. I'm on the back of the book. That's crazy. That's crazy. So crazy I can't hold in my saliva. Anyway, $12.99. Just $12.99 for that? Amazing. But in seriousness, it reprints the only issue of all Negro comics, the debut issue, after which the creators were like basically pushed out of the publishing business. But this was the first comic book that we know of with a Black publisher, writer, artist team. It's a really interesting artifact of history. And I cannot believe, as an African-American history major, that my name is on the back of an important piece of African-American history that I did not write. That's wild. Anyway, $12.99. Speaking of Black history, Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. Harriet Tubman, very much a historical figure. She was not a demon slayer. This is historical fiction by David Crownson. This book also got featured a while back. It was a part of my best of 21 list a couple years ago. 4 years ago? Anyway, back then there were only 4 issues that had come out through Kickstarter. Now there are 6, and those 6 issues have been collected into a trade that's out this week from Massive Publishing. I need to get my hands on it because I don't have issue 5 or 6 of this series. This book is that book is a riot. Like, if you are a part of that Boondocks generation, you will love Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. It's supposed to be getting an animated series on Disney Plus of all platforms. Maybe they'll move it to Hulu, but cool stuff. $19.99 on that. And lastly, Fish Flies by Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire is one of those names that always comes up on like the best of lists. A lot of my friends swear by Jeff Lemire. For me, the only thing I've read by Jeff Lemire was the Robin and Batman series, and I really, really, really loved that book. So this gets a spot on the list just for that. $24.99 is the cover price. And that's it. That's the last book on the trade waiting pile. You can grab those, like I said, at Panel Bound Comics. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Pull List. Don't forget, there are 3 chances left. 3 chances left for you to get your hands on a $50 gift card to Panel Bound Comics. Huge thanks to everyone who's been supporting the equipment fundraiser so far. We got a little ways to go, but I'm so excited about the little upgrades we've been making along the way. I hope you've noticed the difference in quality and consistency on the channel. It's all because of you, like Marcus Houston said that time. Anyway, now that I'm done quoting has-been celebrities in really precarious situations, I'm going to sign off. See y'all in another video soon. Until then, stay safe, stay awesome, and read something dope today. Peace. Bing bong, let's go Knicks.